Look at that reach, 76 to 72. Chalmers has big power. If he can sit there on the outside, he's got an advantage.
The Bellator MMA debut of social media superstar Aaron Chalmers, over 3 million followers, including the cast of Geordie Shore, the UK equivalent of Jersey Shore. I wonder, are they all about gym, tanning, and laundry as well?
I wouldn't know.
All right, gentlemen, here we go.
I don't know why I do.
First round, you ready? Go, fight.
Chalmers in the red gloves, Griffiths in the blue gloves. And there have, I mean, obviously Chalmers, a polarizing figure, John, by many in and outside of the MMA community. What do you think about his efforts thus far in the MMA game?
Well, from what I've seen, and some of the complaints is, well, he's this reality star. He's not a fighter. Look at, he's a fighter.
Using that whizzer, but then gets taken down by Griffiths.
And gets right back up, which is showing training, and that's what he's been doing. He's been training and working hard to be that MMA fighter. Give the man respect. He gets in this cage, and he does fight.
And Chalmers switching things up with training, now training with Renegade Jiu-Jitsu. Partners include UFC vets Leon Edwards and Tom Breese. But Griffiths looking for that single leg takedown in the opening minute, now changing to a double leg attempt. Looking for the high crotch momentarily.
Well, Griffiths is working very hard for the takedown, but I'm telling you, in all the fights that I've watched him when he gets a takedown, his ground game is not where he should be. He should be in the stand-up position. Being on the ground right here, good job. He wants to suck those feet up under his. He doesn't do it. And this is what I'm talking about with his ground game. He makes big mistakes, which leads to him getting finished in the fight.
Griffiths has 2 submission wins out of his 4 victories. Has been submitted twice, and Chalmers 3-0 with 2 knockouts and a submission. And there's a knee by Griffiths, and Griffiths takes off, and Chalmers tags Griffiths.
That was a big knee that Chalmers took, but he kept going after him. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to Chalmers. I've seen that he is a fighter. He doesn't quit.
Chalmers a standing
He's going to tap. It's over.
Griffiths goes down faster than the many libations Chalmers consumed on reality TV, and he will be celebrating his 31st birthday with members of the Geordie Shore. Aaron Chalmers victorious at Bellator 200.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage with a standing guillotine choke in tight. There's no tap, and it comes to an end officially. 1 minute 54 seconds into round number 1. The winner by submission, Aaron the Joker Chalmers.
Yes, Chalmers just defeated someone who came in with a sub-500 record and has now tasted defeat for the 4th time, but Chalmers gets it done, and he is now 4-0 in his embryonic MMA career. Big John, take it away.
Well, welcome to Bellator there, Aaron Chalmers. That was an impressive fight, especially the fact that you got hit with a big knee, and then you came after him and landed a big right hand that put him down. Talk me through the finish.
I've been working a lot with Tom Breese, Leon, Fabian on my ground game. I could tell everything Leon was telling us. Took a knee, woke us up, bang, sit down, son.
You have a lot of people that have doubted your abilities in this cage as an MMA fighter. You have now 4-0 in your career. Do you think you're finally going to start putting those naysayers to rest?
Do you know what it is? If you don't like it, then fuck you. Simple as that. I've got the best team around us in England. Simple. Leon top 15, Fabian top 10 in England, and Tom Breese. That's it. And that's why I've just put him away in the first round once again.
Well, I've been around this sport for 25 years, and I can tell you, you are a fighter. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Aaron Chalmers.
Here's the tail of the tape then. Chalmers, perfect record so far, 2 years older as well. And you, Josh, want to focus on that record.
Yeah, I want to focus on the record because Corey Browning, although he's 4-2, only has 2 more fights in him, is that he has a lot of amateur fights. So you're actually looking at someone who has probably triple the amount of fights as Aaron Chalmers. That's going to play a factor if the fights go longer than the first round.
Gentlemen, you both know the rules, you both know what I expect. Protect yourself at all times, follow my instruction at all times. If I ask for a break, I expect a good, clean break. Fight hard, fight fair, fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, do so now. Back to your corners.
So we're ready. Aaron Chalmers, plenty of nervous people inside this arena, but once he starts doing his thing, if he's allowed to, they'll be on their feet. 4 fights so far, combined time, 5 minutes, 17 seconds. Can Browning take him deeper than he has ever been?
Look for, there you go, that's what Corey wanted. He wanted to be in this position. Chalmers, the inexperience, I think, showed right there. He needed to stick and move and stay on the outside. This is not where he wanted the fight to go.
Positive start anyway from Browning.
Browning driving that knee through. Chalmers should be posting up on that left hand. Oh, nice little transition back to guard. I'd like to see him put his feet on the hips and maybe kick him back and stand up to his feet. Nice little triangle transition. Browning's got some good.
Says he's much heavier-handed, Browning, than people give him credit for. He showed it there. Caught Chalmers with one of those shots.
What he is a dog fighter. Like I said, as the fight goes on, he's going to be in the grill of Chalmers the whole time, trying to make him use energy in places he's not used to. Chalmers doing a good job of trying to lift that far side underhook. Good knee to the head right there by Chalmers to Browning.
He's learning all the time, Chalmers. He's talked so much about that. He's worked hard on his wrestling skills and might need them here.
But what this is doing is this is causing Chalmers to use a lot of strength in a position he may not be as comfortable being in as other people that have been fighting for a longer duration.
He's looking for that.
He's trying to lift that underhook. There's no submission there. There may be a potential guillotine, but I'm telling you right now that Corey Browning is good. He's got a good ground game, good grappling game. He knows what's coming.
Finished his previous opponent with that guillotine. He was looking for it again there.
Chalmers needs to circle off. He's making that space to try and get to that guillotine.
Griffiths it was who was submitted last time.
Corey's doing a good job of trying to get his head up in the sky so he can't get the choke. But this is a good way to get taken down. Corey's doing the right thing here. He's keeping his hips into him. He's going to try to suck him back. Maybe it will take him down and go to mount. I think Chalmers needs to ditch the guillotine and start lifting the underhook. Yeah, that right side underhook needs to be elevated. What people don't understand is there's a lot of energy being spent right now by Chalmers. There you go. Get the hand back inside. So you can see how he's looking at his corner. That's the signs of a good fighter, someone that's really trying to learn the sport. He's listening to the advice of his corner. I think he needs to circle his back off, maybe open up and get into the open space. This is a lot of wasted energy if he can't get this guillotine.
The Geordie Shore caster right behind him at the moment. He's not listening to them though. He's listening to what his corner is telling him. He's learning all the time.
Nice little knee there. Corey Browning's mouthpiece came out. Must have hit him with a good shot there with the knee. It's also a lot of energy for Corey Browning to be pushing him against the fence like this and holding him in place. If Chalmers can circle off and open up with the hands, or at least get to a position where he's not pressed against the fence.
Still looking, isn't he, for that choke at the moment, Chalmers.
But it's taxing on the shoulders and the arms. So when they break, I wouldn't expect Chalmers to have a whole lot of explosiveness with his boxing right off the bat. Takes a second. There's a lot of lactic acid building up. There's a lot of just energy being spent, a lot of blood rushing there at that moment. There, nice little knee.
And knee as they broke there, and then Chalmers with the right hand, the combination, dropped him with the left. Browning to his feet, throwing wildly himself. Chalmers needs to be careful here. Big swings from Browning, but Chalmers having the better of this now. Minute to go in the first round. Browning looks tired here.
Browning looks tired, but he's got the experience of all the amateur fights to get him through this grittiness. This is where Chalmers needs to show that he's not an amateur type fighter, that he's gonna stay on top and just Now gather his breath, slow the pace down, just like I just did after all that action. Just kind of take a deep breath, let Corey Browning deal with all his weight.
Big deep breaths all round at the moment. So much tension inside this place. A lot of love for Aaron Chalmers.
Chalmers doing a good job here. Browning's obviously as tired as Chalmers is. Gotta be careful with that triangle. If I was Chalmers, when he starts opening the legs, I would stand up and back out of his guard. And this is right where he wants to be.
Raining punches down right at the end of that opening round. Had he had longer, that might have got interesting, but Browning shaky on his feet, but proving that he, as you said, is a street fighter.
Great first round.
Yeah, it was terrific, and Browning living up to the talk here, saying what he did to Baby Slice, he wants to do to another big Bellator prospect. Start of round 2. Aaron Chalmers knows that he's in a real fight here.
Chalmers keeps rushing forward. He's got to be cautious of that. Nice head and arm takedown from there.
Now it's Chalmers who's on his back.
Chalmers has a couple things he can do to try to escape here. He can try to recover, push on the hips and recover his guard. Bringing that left leg inside between him and his opponent. Or he can put his back flat to the mat. He's got to be careful he don't get caught in that side choke from this position. If Corey Browning's able to jump to the other side, there's a side choke potential there.
Chalmers has got to stay cool.
What Chalmers needs to do here is start pushing on the hips to make space and start hip escaping out. Corey Browning's going to be a little bit hard to start bridging and escaping from that position. He can start pushing on the hips, hip escaping out, trying to recover his full guard. This is a smart move by Corey. So Corey Browning, what he's doing right now, what he's doing is he's just keeping his weight on him. He's having to carry, Chalmers is having to carry all of his weight as well as Browning's weight. So now, and the ref's not gonna stand him up from this position. This is the mount position. This could be a potential finishing position. The ref will, very rarely in my career have I ever seen a ref stand somebody up from this position.
It's the reverse of where we were in round 1, isn't it, with Chalmers using his weight to try and tire out Browning. Browning in a good spot here.
What Browning's doing is putting his forehead underneath Chalmers' chin, kind of stretching and elongating him out. He's slowly trying to work one of those arms up above his head so he can start maybe attacking a triangle or an armbar. In the meantime, if you can see this, Browning's hipping into him right at his stomach level or his breadbasket level, which is causing him to take different types of breathing. And that different types of breathing ends up changing the pace of the fight, because when you get back to your feet, you have a hard time exploding or getting your breath back.
Browning loves being the party pooper, and that's where we are right now. A languid way he goes about everything. Doesn't seem to be too bothered. He's going to go and try and become a snowboard instructor, taking a course when he gets back home. He's that kind of guy. It's his great love, this and snowboarding.
He's slowly working his legs up. He's just trying to grind down some punches. This is what we saw with Baby Slice. He's not a big, devastating ground and pounder, but he just does the work. And right now, Chalmers having a hard time hip escaping because his head's backed against the fence.
It's the cumulative effect of that ground and pound. The referee's having a close look here. Chalmers in crisis as Browning tries to finish it.
Chalmers may have been in crisis there, but nothing really landed cleanly. That's why the ref didn't step in. I think Chalmers actually got the better of the exchange from the bottom, which very rarely happens. Good positioning here from Browning.
Browning again in a great position. Chalmers wriggling and moving and trying to almost learn on the job here. Referee looks again. Chalmers still has over a minute of this round to survive.
Ref is looking to step in, but Chalmers doesn't look like he's going to quit. He's still trying to fight and protect himself. As long as he's defending himself intelligently, the ref will continue to let it go. And the other thing as well, Corey Browning's not landing devastating blows. Good transition. Now, this may have cost him the fight, though, because he's on top. If he loses this position, Chalmers able to get on top and finish the round strong. That might be key. I know he lost the round, but at least that lets the crowd know he's still in it.
Yeah, get the crowd going. 30 seconds remain in round one.
You hear the crowd go electric. This gets them amped up, and that gets their fighter amped up.
No question that it's Browning's round at the moment. But Chalmers has certainly re-established himself, and he's given himself and this capacity crowd hope here.
He's getting his breath about him right now, but this is a typical fight.
You've got to hand it to Corey Browning from Knoxville, Tennessee, the Marble City. And he is as tough as marble. And again, he looks to...
This is a better position for him.
But it's better, isn't it? Yeah.
What he needs to do is just try to keep spinning with the way he's trying to twist the ankle. Oh, man. Hit him with a beautiful heel hook.
Just brilliant. Just brilliant. And he upsets the apple cart again. Corey Browning in the blink of an eye.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of a heel hook. Officially, 20 seconds into round number 3, the winner by submission, Corey Browning.
End of the tape looks like this. Chalmers, of course, with that one that he has to get over. Same age, slight advantages elsewhere, Josh.
John, do you want me to say it or do you want to say it?
I think you got it, brother.
Virtually identical.
Can Chalmers put all of that disappointment behind him? As John was saying earlier, he comes in for more criticism than almost anyone else would at this stage in his career because of his profile. Let's see how he goes on here tonight. He's strong favorite to win, but we know that bad things can happen to him.
John, I'll give the speed advantage to Freeman, though. Freeman's got good speed, pretty fast with the combinations. He's just got to put them together and mix it up with his wrestling to keep Chalmers guessing.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind, Fred is the faster. He's got faster hands, he's got actual good movement, but this is the area that Aaron Chalmers wants to be in. He wants to be in this grappling situation because this is where he has the advantage.
Yeah, he's worked hard on that side of his game, most certainly. With Alex Enlund now at SPG South Shields, that 25-minute journey to training means he can get more training done, means it's higher quality. Let's see if it becomes apparent here in these opening exchanges.
Well, just like Josh was talking about maturity of a fighter and guys liking to knock people out, you can fall in love with that. But when you look at your opponent, you break your opponent down, and when you see a weakness, if you don't put him towards that weakness, it's showing that you're not a smart fighter.
I've seen plenty of fighters fall in love with their power, and it's ruined their careers. So this is a good fight for us to see if he's reevaluated who he is, Aaron Chalmers, and understand exactly what went wrong in the last fight.
And that's what you're seeing by him initiating the clinch and putting Freeman against the cage. He's telling you, I want to bring this fight to the ground.
Yeah, he specifically said he's been working a lot on his wrestling and his cage pressure as well. Trying to put that into practice straight away in the opening 2 minutes here.
Freeman now with double underhooks. He's got a very good position. He's trying to utilize his head to push Chalmers' head off to the side. That's going to weaken Chalmers as far as his strength and being able to stop what Fred's doing.
I've said it several times. The newer generation needs to start understanding that it's harder to get the takedowns against the fence. If Freeman was smart, he would pull him off of the fence and try to get the takedown in the open matted area.
Freeman's personal story is a fascinating one. The 10th of 14 children. Lost his father, Fred Sr., back in February. But given the nature of his illness, he said it was almost a release, but he is fighting for him. He is motivated by that.
Chalmers is dug for that left underhook, and with that left underhook, he can move Freeman off and get himself with his back. There you go. The open cage.
Chalmers.
Chalmers
He
has
follows it up.
Just like Chalmers' last fight, he smothered his punches and ended up not landing anything clean. Those are things that we're talking about as far as the inexperience of not having an amateur career.
Yeah, and that's when you crush that distance, Dave, it takes away from your ability to land that snap on that shot. And he's got power. He has got some snap in his shots. But when you're rushing forward a little bit out of control, you can crush that distance and take that chance, that opportunity away.
Chalmers relatively happy with the way this has gone so far, and look at him looking over.
He had a nice elbow off the break, and when he had that elbow off the break, it rocked Freeman, and when Freeman couldn't get back to his wits, he smothered himself and lost that opportunity like John was saying.
And this right here in this position, you just watch what he did off the cage. He went the wrong way. He's got that left underhook, and if you're going to spin Freeman, you want to do it turning exactly like he just did to that position, turning right. That's going to give you that strength leverage.
Yeah, well, right on cue, Chalmers obliges. Now in the dominant position. Approaching the final minute of the first round that Chalmers is winning at the moment. What kind of pressure can he apply in the final 50 seconds or so here, Chalmers?
Well, he's got a very good position. He's got good shoulder pressure with Fred's head. He needs to look and say, exactly, I need to posture and I need to start doing damage to this guy. So when he comes out, if he does make it to the second round, he's not the same fighter.
Keep that shoulder pressure on his chin, keeping him looking the opposite direction so that he can start to, like you said, posture up and start landing the elbows. You can't just hang out here because John's been talking most tonight about how we want to make sure that you're doing work on top. Otherwise, the guy on bottom, if he's more active, he's going to win the round.
Yeah, John always talks about that. Being on top doesn't just give you the right to win the round. You have to use that advantage. Chalmers showing good intelligence, though, in this opening round. No mistakes so far, no major ones anyway, which is a breakthrough of sorts for him anyway.
He already looks better, though, than he did in the last fight.
And I honestly look at that as a good round for him to get himself back into having confidence in what he's doing.
Let's see how he can follow it up. Both landed kicks to the body there. Again, Chalmers looking for that cage pressure. Again with a takedown for Chalmers.
He had the over-under, and what he did was he pulled him away just enough so his back couldn't lean against the fence. He was able to step across the body and take him down. Nice job.
Actually, that takedown showed how much strength Aaron Chalmers had because he sucked those hips off of that fence, and that's a strong maneuver. And he knew that as he pulled him, I'm going to turn. Beautiful takedown by Chalmers.
What he means by sucking those hips off the fence is what he did was he closed his elbows, brought his own elbows into his own hips. And so that pulled Freeman's hips in with his, close to his. That gives Chalmers more strength and position with his hips over Freeman's.
Again, that good pressure into the neck and the face there of Freeman from Chalmers. His journey, a remarkable one as well. 8 years he worked as a scaffolder. That's where the strength comes from. Pre-reality TV fame with Geordie Shore.
Well, we talk about strength of a fighter all the time, and there's a huge difference between weightlifting strength and what we call leverage strength. You get a guy that understands positioning of his body and how to get himself in a strong leverage position. You can lift the world with a big lever.
But there's so many different ways to use that leverage and that strength in different positions for fighting. So he needs to, he's learning, as I can see, he's learning in the positions that he can use that. And he showed it right there by sucking the hips in and getting the takedown.
Well, he said beforehand, he speaks very well, Aaron Chalmers, that the loss against Browning will make him progress 10 times faster.
It's funny how it works that way, isn't it?
Seeing right here, what you're seeing, you know, Freeman he's closed, not just getting the gable grip, closing down the body. Chalmers needs to frame. He needs to start to frame against Freeman's head. If you use that frame, his strength works against him, and you can get that posture position and decide, am I going to come down with a strike or try to pass?
So I like what he's doing here, what Chalmers doing. He's putting his hand over the mouth. So he's making Freeman move his head left to right, so he's able to try and create some space.
Real strong, short elbow inside everything you do. It's not the big shots as far as how far back you bring it. It's how much power do you bring it. Those short shots hurt.
The crowd not too happy with it at the moment, but not necessarily seeing the work that he's doing.
And the reason for that with Keith Peterson, why you saw him standing up, you saw Freeman with an open guard, and you saw Chalmers not working to pass that to put himself in a more positional advantage, and that's why eventually you see the stand-up.
John, you would know, do you guys also look at the fact that Chalmers' head was based on just sitting on the chest, not moving, not doing anything? Even when there was a chance, an opportunity for him to back out of the guard, he kept his head down on the chest.
Well, without the closed guard and Freeman, purposely holding on to him, Chalmers has the ability to move his body. Posturing the head is saying that I'm trying to come with power. Moving past the guard, all those are things that the referees look at. Am I going to let you stay there? Am I going to get you up?
See, I don't like what Chalmers is doing here. See how close his knee is to Freeman's head. That allows him to suck the leg in and get the takedown. Chalmers did a couple little good things there by pushing the head down, but he needs to sprawl those legs back. Put shoelaces down, as I like to tell the kids in my gym. Shoelaces down, so they understand. So when Freeman was to drive it in, here we go. Beautiful setup for the triangle.
Brilliant from Chalmers. Now can Freeman escape this?
You're looking at Freeman's right arm, what Chalmers is doing, trying to cross it over. If he crosses that right arm over and closes down on it, he's got his submission.
Chalmers looking to take his chance this time. And Chalmers gets right back on track. It was clinical, it was controlled. It wasn't perfect, but look what it means to him there, John.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end by way of a triangle choke tap officially. 4 minutes, 5 seconds, round number 2. The winner by submission, Aaron, the Joker Chalmers.
The tale of the tape, Aaron Chalmers and Austin Clem, the two welterweights. Josh, keys to victory and key facts from that tale of the tape.
Realistically, I look at the age as a little bit of a factor, but I have more of the reach, because that's what Aaron Chalmers needs to utilize to win this fight. He needs to keep Austin Clem on the outside of his punches and stick and move.
Chalmers to try and do it at range, to try and use his power. So will it be the Joker or will it be the King? They'll play their cards here early. Chalmers' longest fight as a pro, 10:20. Clem's 9:43. They will both look to get this done. Aaron Chalmers in the red gloves, Austin Clem out of that southpaw stance in the blue gloves. Let's see how this unfolds. It might just be explosive.
I feel like he has more power in the hands than his kicks already back at 170. Nice knee right up the middle, and that hurt him. That hurt Clem real bad. He rushed it in on that second one, but you can see Clem's face has changed right now. He's trying to get his wind back above him.
He told us to watch out for those flying knees, Aaron Chalmers, and he produced one early on. See Chalmers just trying to organize himself here. Looking at the screen, looking at his position. Worked really hard on his ground game.
Just got to work on getting back up to his feet. Start posting his hands and butt scooting his back up to the fence. And he can use that fence as another way to levy himself up.
Chalmers has done well to maneuver himself to that fence. Now he needs to do the second bit and get back to his feet. Clem has had double the fights that Chalmers has to this point, and he really believed that his experience would give him the edge here.
Yeah, I like to remind people that Aaron Chalmers is learning on the fly. All the fights that you see on his record, he had no amateur record. He just came in, learned all of these fights on the fly. So this is a huge step up in competition for him, because he said this is the type of fight he wanted to fight.
Yeah, by a long way his toughest opponent. And he made the point, to your point, Josh, his mistakes are watched by millions. Others can learn as amateurs, and he feels that they do get exposed. tries to make that move. Strong man, Austin Clem.
Back up to his feet. I like what he's doing there, Aaron Chalmers. He's just hitting those little striking to the elbows to the head. All he's got to do is hit the temple, a little bit under the ear. As long as he's not elbowing the back of the head, he's in good position.
Clem looking for another takedown there, but Chalmers resisted well.
Chalmers needs to keep that wide base on that leg, like scissoring his legs wide open. As soon as he brought his knees close together, he just got taken down again.
And so once again, Clem has got Chalmers for the time being where he wants him, but still has to work.
Yeah, Chalmers needs a little bit of sense of urgency though. Start trying to turn to his side, post on the hand, and get up. There you go. Post on that right hand. Keep the left arm over Wizard. Keep the Wizard there. This is not where he wanted to be. It was flat on his back.
Happy now he's training much closer to home, Aaron Chalmers. I think he feels he got a few things wrong at the start of his career. He's with Alex Enlund now. 25 minutes to training rather than 25 hours a week in a car, as he says.
Working on that triangle, couldn't get the other leg up over the shoulder.
The triangle that did it last June for him.
He needs to work on getting himself back up to his feet, though. I don't mind the attacks on the sweeps and the submissions, but he needs to attack, sweep, and submission. And if he can't get there, put his feet up on the hips and kick him back and get away. Because when you attack submissions, generally people will either try to posture out of it or try to pull out of it. When they do that, it gives you enough space to put your feet on the hips and kick them back to stand up. Shouldn't be hanging out here. He should have put his back flat to the fence and back up.
Looking for those up kicks, Chalmers, but Clem's not getting in range. He's not falling for that. Clem was waiting for that opening. Chalmers missed a chance there, didn't he?
That was a huge chance for him to get back up to his feet. Got to learn how to get those technical stand-ups. Kick off your opponent and then post your hand and get up to your feet.
Just to reiterate that point, though, you know, he's allowed to make mistakes. This is fight number 7. Not too much pedigree, but watched by live terrestrial TV audience, watched by millions, and learning on the job, really, Aaron Chalmers, but it's been a difficult opening round for him. Big reality TV star. Sure many of you watching know that. Geordie Shore, ex on the beach as well. Nearly 2.5 million Instagram followers, nearly as many as Josh.
I wish, buddy, I wish. Nice straight jab. He needs to make space, sprawl. Gotta get those hips down. There, nicely done.
Left hook there from Chalmers, but that hurt Clem. This is not where Clem wants to be.
No, but Chalmers made somewhat of a similar mistake that he made against Corey Browning. He smothered himself with the combinations, and that made it easier for Clem to get in on the takedown, or in on the legs, I should say. He landed some clean shots, some nice shots, but always be hesitant to smother your combinations because you end up right back in this position. He's got to push on the hips and the head. Start hip escaping away.
This time he doesn't have to maneuver himself near the cage. He can use that fence. He can't use it too much. Dan Miraliota, the referee, will have something to say about that. Just that right foot of Chalmers.
That right there was a veteran move by Clem by pulling Chalmers away from the fence so he can't put his feet on the fence and walk it up. Sometimes that'll lead to a reversal.
Done wrestling when he was 7 years of age, Austin Clem. Wrestled through high school, didn't wrestle in college, but now works a little bit with the wrestling team in Missouri.
Chalmers needs to start pushing on the hips. See how he's kind of hugging the head? The ref's not going to stand you up from here because this is a dominant position. That mount position's a dominant position. could be considered a finish. It could be considered a finishing position. Holding him there will not do anything. There's no way the ref will stand him up from this position.
Clem, though, needs to work in the position as well, doesn't he? That elbow will help him.
Chalmers needs to start pushing on the hips and hip escaping left to right. What I mean by hip escaping is when you push his hips down with your hands, down your legs and your body, and as you do that, you kind of like do like a shrimp, and you pull your hips out from underneath him and try to face him so you can get your feet back on his hips or hooks inside his inner thighs. That's what we call the butterfly guard.
Tell you what, Chalmers described this week as by far, in capital letters, his toughest fight to date, and it is proving to be. It's going wrong for him at the moment. We know he's got the power to equalize things if he can get back on his feet.
Nice little short elbow right there by Clem.
When we were talking earlier and you were saying that Clem was the likeliest to cause an upset tonight, this is exactly what you were imagining, wasn't it, in terms of how it could go wrong for Aaron Chalmers?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking Kurtz also later, but I'll explain to you later when that fight comes about. That fight was also another chance, but here you go with Clem. Landing some vicious ground and pound, posturing up, and then comes back down before he loses the position. Nicely done by Clem.
Another thing to remind you of, those of you watching at home who aren't habitués of MMA, this isn't just about Clem potentially stopping Chalmers. This is winning him the round, being in this position, doing this work. So if we go all three, which will be the first time for both of them, then Clem is looking good at the moment. Long way to go, though.
In these big fights like this for Austin Clem, this is considered a huge fight for him, an opportunity for him. So I could see him just staying composed, trying to keep that top position, not really doing anything that may put him or jeopardize the position that he's in.
As long as he lands enough of those elbows from that position, he's doing enough, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he really just got to be a little bit active. He's a tiny bit active. There's no way. You see Dan Morrell is not even close to stepping in, not even close to thinking about it. He's just sitting back, watching the fight happen.
There are going to need to be strong words from Alex Enland in that corner after this round for Aaron Chalmers. The Corey Browning fight turned in the blink of an eye, that heel hook, but this is becoming a tide, and he's got to find a way of stemming it.
Yeah, it's hard to recover from rounds like this because you spent the whole time on bottom carrying somebody else's weight. So he's carrying another 100, and let's just say now after weigh-ins, probably another 180 pounds, 185 pounds.
Geordie Shore fans in the arena and all around the country will be willing Aaron Chalmers on here. Starts with the outside leg kick, then the inside. He's come out with intent here. Wants to dominate. Try and find a way to use his power.
Keep his back off the fence.
He knows he can hurt Clem. We saw that in both of those opening two rounds.
Circle off the fence. Not where he wanted to be.
A similar pattern, isn't it, to the opening two rounds? A bit of success for Chalmers, and then to the boos from the crowd, Clem gets him to the floor. At least he's near the fence, and he can try and use that to get back to his feet here, Chalmers. It's a big test of his fitness, this as well.
I mean, he looks like he's in phenomenal shape. He's not spending it. He's just getting too relaxed in this position. There should be a little bit more intensity of him getting back to his feet. Less striking and more focused on getting back up to his feet. He's got that guillotine, but the legs aren't wrapped around. There's nothing really there for it. It's a lot of energy to bridge into and try to keep that tight. You see Austin Clem trying to hit that Belvoir flu choke.
Crucial moment this. Crucial moments these in the fight. Three minutes to go. Is there going to be a Chalmers revival here?
Right to the mouth. I'll continue to say it. Chalmers got to stop trying to hold him down, start trying to push on his hips, and start trying to hip escape out from underneath them.
Did you see that as just a technical thing? Something,
yes.
Again, we keep saying it, but something he needs to learn.
Yeah, there you go. See him pushing on the hips there for a second, but then as soon as Clem went to posture up, he brought his hands back up. Striking from the bottom is not going to do him anything.
The time is starting to tick away.
This is what he should have been doing the last round. He started pushing on the hips a little bit. See, he's got a little bit of leverage out, pushing the hips though. He's got to move himself out from underneath them. Realistically, what you are doing is you are holding Clem in place, and you are trying to move yourself out from underneath him.
So short elbows from Clem, and he won't mind about the boos. He's trying to do his job, and he's doing it to this point.
Nice little short elbow there again by Clem. Only a minute 30 left.
Chalmers just breathing a bit heavily, not surprisingly. It's a tough man, Chalmers, for all the celebrity fame. He worked as a scaffolder on the oil rigs before Geordie Shore. He's known at life, don't worry about that. But these are the most testing moments he's had in a professional cage. Because Austin Clem, it might not be sexy or exciting, but he is grinding out a win here at the moment.
Yeah, he needs to find some way to get himself out from underneath him. He turned to the side, trying to take the far side leg and hook the ankle and drag him into a half guard position. He can push on the hips. Trying to hip escape out from underneath. He's stuck in that side choke right now. If Clem can roll him to the other side, Clem decided not to take the chance of losing the position.
Final 30 seconds. Chalmers just can't extricate himself. And you'd have to feel that Clem's done enough here. And if you wonder even about the hesitation, you sometimes can't be confident with the judges, but Clem has spent so much of this fight on top, dominating, doing enough. And he'll believe he's done it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Cartledge and Judge Crosby both scored about 30-27, and Judge Minor scores about 30-26, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Austin Clem.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Francis Ngannou. Subscribe now.